Robert hits. I don't know. He does the Sangiovese so well. You know, we're always proud of the Super T-Rex. Obviously, you know, we're still in the 02 vintage for the Super T-Rex, and it is drinking so sweet right now. Just awesome. And you know, this when we finally came out with the 06 Sangiovese, I was happy, ready to get my glass out and open a bottle, and it's really drinking well right now. It's not drinking tight or youthful. It's really showing fruit expression. You know, for some of the fruit on here, we used American oak barrels, and you know, Robert really likes to use the American oak on the Syrahs and the Zinfandels, but incorporating that into the wine also, I mean, you know, it's heavier on the French oak side, and then just a touch of the American oak for the aging regimen, and it's showing.
The oak's just right for me.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's not over oak, not at all. That's not what we're looking at here. It's more of it imparts more of those. Sometimes you get a vanilla. I get more of a chocolatey characteristic out of it on the back side of the palate, but fruit-wise, the Sangiovese and Cabernet are really stand-up varietals.
It's big on the back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Drink this. I hate to waste a drop. That's probably my downfall. But
we're ready for the Zin.
We're ready.
2006 Old Vine Zinfandel, Buchignani Garcia Vineyard. Robert's been sourcing fruit from these guys for what, about 30 years now?
Yeah, they're old, long-standing partners.
Let me tell you something about this wine. 17.2% alcohol. It does not drink, smell, or taste like a martini in style. If you're saying, "Oh my God, that's a lot of alcohol."
Yeah.
It is right on that port alcohol level. But you know, Robert Rex in his winemaking style, he knows balance, he knows complexity, and that's how this wine drinks.
It's actually remarkable that it, like, if you were to taste it, it doesn't taste hot at all. And for those of you guys that aren't big into wine lingo, hot is the noticeable presence of alcohol.
Burning of the nose, burning in the back of the throat and mouth. Nothing like that in this wine.
And the difference between an average wine and a good wine is balance. That's really like the first thing that separates, just a top shelf and middle of the shelf is keeping the wine in balance, the alcohol, acidity, all the different components. And given that this is such a high alcohol, it's really remarkable. And what it allows you to do, though, having the high alcohol, the reason it's good is because alcohol is what's soluble on your tongue. It dissolves the other flavor compounds on your tongue, which is really what makes wine such a unique beverage in terms of the experience of drinking it, as opposed to like grape juice, for example.
Yeah.
It's what the alcohol does. It's the chemical reaction that takes place on your tongue, and the alcohol you can think of as almost like a conduit, and so when you have the high alcohol, it's so flavorful,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're able to get that without tasting the alcohol, it's amazing,
Yeah.
So this Zinfandel is everything that I look for in a Zinfandel, for sure.
And I think what you were alluding to is this is the reason that we got 95 points, wine enthusiast.
95 points.
Yeah, that puts it in the top bracket of wines. That's we're really proud of it. We just actually received that news within the week.
Yep.
We submitted the wines a little over a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago.
Thank you, wine enthusiast.
yes, we'll put in a plug for you for sure. But I think the wine totally deserves it. When I'm out selling these wines on the outside market, we get such great reception. When we were at the San Francisco Chronicle competition, or the tasting part of the competition, such great reception. Just a beautiful wine, well put together. It is that cult style, though. It's $60 retail. And then I should go down the retail for these. $60 for this guy out of the tasting room, $30 for this one, and I don't know. We set a price for the rosé.
We haven't.
We'll be back to you on the rosé price, but shouldn't be a whole lot.
A price that's good for summer. What'd you say?
Oh yeah.
Porch pounder.
patio pounder.
Patio pounder.
But,
I mean, the nicest patio pounder you've ever had.
For sure. But the Zinfandel is the lore. I mean, it is Robert. Robert always says, you know, a good winemaking is made from, you know, I think I've said this before on the show, is it's established by those who can make Pinot and Zinfandel really well, because they're very, very hard. I mean, Pinot's more of a in the vineyard grape, you know, it's very finicky, unmanageable, very hard to take care of and get right, but when you do get it right, it is almost divine. And on the side of the Zinfandel, Addison and I, being on the production team this last year, we really got to see how hardcore it is to produce Zinfandel, because, you know, when it comes in, you've got a whole cluster here. You know, it might be this tall, and, you know, at the top here you'll have some raisin berries, and then in the middle you'll have some fully ripe berries, and then at the bottom you'll have some shot, unpollinated berries or underripe berries. And in that whole cluster, there's all this going on. You know, it's so uneven ripening, uneven berry set, all of that. And you know, Robert likes to incorporate all of those different berries into the fermentation. Well, when we're doing fermentation, into the batch, because you know, the underripes add a little more acidity. The overripes add more of that pruny, dried fruit characteristic in the wine. So it just makes out for a very complex wine. Well, lots of flavors.
I mean, yeah, it's so interesting how all of the varietals have such a different personality, and in working with them, in making the wine, and it's just so cool how, like, that's all manifest in the beverage at the end of the day. You know, it's like, that is why people love wine so much, because it is so unique and there's so much depth to it. You know, and at all levels of it, and that's why it's fascinating, and we love doing what we do, because, you know, you can enjoy it in your home, and, you know, and drinking it with a nice meal. You can enjoy being out in the vineyard and seeing where it comes from and the grapes, and the whole. You could learn about the whole process, which is why, you know, I hope you're interested in the show, because you get to see what's happening to these grapes as it makes its transition and its journey, and it's a remarkable journey.
It is.
Ryan, thanks again for coming on. Love having you on, as always.
No problem. I love being on. Hey, look at this view, people. Look at this.
Come out and visit us. It's amazing up here right now.
It is. It is.
All right, we'll see you next week on Cellar Rat TV.
Yeah, we're out.